Hello everyone and welcome back to EastEnders Weekly. Not quite weekly because we missed one last week.
Sadly, yes, we did, but you have to forgive us. As we mentioned on our Twitter and our Facebook and our Instagram, for anyone who follows us on any of our social medias, we've been away. We've had a bit of a rough guided tour around Europe. We've been to Italy, France, and we're actually on our way home. We've been to more than just Italy and France.
And Spain.
We're actually on our way home right now. We've had a spare hour or two. We've caught up on everything EastEnders. And
we're on a boat in the middle of the sea, nothing to do.
No, nothing to do.
So we thought we'd talk to everyone. So sound quality may be different, but that's all the fun.
It may not be perfect. We decided to not record outside as well. We did go over the idea of maybe having the waves lapping in the background.
I thought it would be like relaxing.
Yeah, like a nice little summer breeze, because I know there's been a bit of heat wave in the UK. We've also had a bit of heat where we've been. We've had the odd 40 here and there as ourselves, but we've been a bit more prepared, I feel, than everyone back at home.
But we're here to talk about EastEnders, not ourselves. We're not a travel blog.
It's the officially unofficial podcast all about EastEnders.
It is, and we're discussing the episodes that were broadcast in the UK between the 22nd and the 26th of July. Not just the UK, also our cabin on international waters.
Yeah, we're international now, aren't we? We get people looking at us, and we're sure it's because of the podcast. We're sure of it.
Right, so we're going to start off with the Taylors this week, but the storyline of Karen sort of coming out.
Yeah,
her new life.
She's gender, liquid, bisexual, all over the place, isn't she? She's got her own colour on the old LGBTQ rainbow, I think.
Bra strap red.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this storyline of Karen's new love of life?
Yeah, I think she's just embracing her sexuality. I think it's also good that it means that she's having a bit more of a relationship with Bernie. So it's nice that seems to have come. I know a lot of people are very upset that it just seems to have just come out of nowhere, which it kind of
worries me that it's kind of like seen as a bit of a joke. I don't know if they have to be careful with how they're... It just feels like a bit of summer filler to me. Like Karen's not exactly short on storylines. They could easily have given this to any other character, Tina or Sonia, possibly Ikra. I mean, we know that Ikra's got a storyline coming up where she's having a bit of love lust, and her and Tina, there seems to be a thing with her and Ikra as well. I mean, it's just, like you say, it is a bit of fluff for the summer, and it's already... Is it a bit irresponsible the way they're doing it, though? Or no, do you not think it is? I think that the point is that Karen is irresponsible, so this is something Karen would do. I think she likes to embrace life, and Tina's warned her already that you shouldn't mess around with people's feelings and emotions. Bernie on Friday said the same thing, and I just think it's Karen just having a bit of fun, Karen being Karen. But I just don't think it adds anything. Like, her character didn't need this, I don't think.
I mean, a lot of her family are dead set against her doing this as well, which
Louise isn't.
No, Louise is 100% supportive while she puts her paper recyclable goods in the right bin. Which we must mention that Bailey was back this week, and she's really doing her recyclable incentive this week, doing it for school projects, but I think there's more to it.
Do you think those scenes with Bailey were like the first ones they filmed since she won the soap award? Because they've like upped her like sassiness since we last saw her.
So they've also pulled her away from Mitch a little bit too.
Lucky her.
Well, yes, I know. I think anyone is lucky not to have to work with Mitch, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, we'll talk about in a minute about how I think we're meant to support Mitch, but it's terrifying that if this is the direction we're going.
I am still in mourning over my grey. Still wearing grey.
I know, you're still wearing grey. You've got a little grey face armband, haven't you, like we're football players, just to commemorate what could have been of the grey character.
With Karen with a C, they've been on 2 dates? Have they been on dates?
Yes, they've been on 2 official dates.
Have they kissed? No,
when they haven't done anything physical at all. Right.
Do you think this storyline is going to end with like Karen kissing her and her really like realising, oh, I'm not a lesbian? Is that what's going to happen?
I think it might take a bit more than just I think it might take a bit more than a kiss to realise that perhaps you might not have that kind of sexual wants to maybe be with someone of your same gender, but I don't know, I think Karen also just wants a bit of, like I say, a bit of fun, just a personality. Someone to let her hair down with, because Karen's had such a serious time as of late, and it's just that maybe she just wants to, figuratively let her bra strap down a little bit and really have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I don't know. It just feels like nothing to me, and it's not needed for Karen's character, so I'm not invested at all in Karen with a C.
Oh dear.
I'm afraid.
I like Karen C as well. She reminds me of a ballsy businesswoman from 1989. Might open a hair salon and try to steal other girls' husbands, you know.
Julie.
A Julie, yes, someone might call her a Julie. Yes, a Julie.
Right, do you want to talk about the second part of the Taylors, which was involved Keegan and Gray and Chantelle, and also Tiffany, who she's leaving. The funny thing is, she had a whole week's of episode saying she was leaving, massive, huge goodbye. Obviously, we know Maisie Smith isn't leaving. Kim, who actually is leaving, gets one scene.
I know. Again, we penciled in a conversation about Kim's departure.
10-second conversation, because that's all they gave
at the end of the episode. Yeah, I know, it's really bad, really, that they gave a character who, I don't know, I suppose Tiff has had a lot more to talk about these past few weeks, and her story with Jack especially.
But the whole thing felt empty, because you knew that she wasn't leaving. It's like, a few years ago, Whitney kept doing it, didn't she? Whitney kept going, there's nothing here for me, I'm going to leave. And then she was on a bench and then she wouldn't leave. She did that about 3 times. And it's again with Tiff, she's not leaving. And they really amped up the rom-comness of Keegan running to her and the CGI train station and all that. Yeah,
it was like a Richard Curtis Love Actually scene, wasn't it? It really was something that you would imagine from a British rom-com. He grabs the microphone off the Bible basher outside the tube station, says, "You don't need this, mate, Jesus will forgive you." And and he starts shouting over to the bridge where the CGI train was sitting, waiting for it to depart. And it was a bit
cheese fest.
It was very much a cheese fest. I mean, to go back on you saying that Whitney threatened to leave a few times, Whitney was the first to champion the Tiff stay home cause, and Sonia wasn't too far behind either.
No, Sonia got a little scene where she was arranging a party.
Well, she had a picnic in mind, didn't she? She wanted to make she wanted something to...
A blanket.
A blanket. She wanted Tiff to go in a bang. And what more of a bang could you have than a cold, grey day in the park?
With Robbie.
With Robbie, a scene we never even see. And, I mean, what was nice to see Robbie being involved as well. Well, yeah, he was the comedy character. He forgot the blanket. Robbie burnt his fingers on the toast in the morning. He was back to his old form again. The Robbie we all know and wish wasn't there.
I've had enough of comedy characters from 1989. And while I'm talking about 89, we're doing classic roundup now, very quickly. The other day we were watching 1989. We both know and agree that we hate Trevor.
Oh, no.
Trevor's short.
We don't both agree that anymore.
And what was it that you said to me?
Okay. Trevor is growing on me. And he is.
And you also laughed at one of his lines.
I don't have a problem with Trevor anymore. I kind of find him adorable. I can kind of see why people were like, "Oh, Trevor."
No, but Robbie's just the same issue.
Well, he's not, because Robbie's not
lovable.
No, not true. That's true. But also Robbie's not got difficulties in learning like Trevor has.
He?
Well, I know he was stood outside the Donna Kebab shop the time when Donna left, staring at the flashing sign. But I mean, Robbie's not an idiot in the
he is.
Well, he's not in. He's just a little bit. I don't want to say slow on the uptake, but he just doesn't. He's a bit unlucky with life. Is Robbie? It's not that he's not bright necessarily. He's just a bit unlucky with life. While Trevor's not exactly the brightest spark in the box.
Well,
anyway,
I can't forgive you for saying that he's growing on you.
Well,
so,
but next week, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be doing a full 1989 roundup of EastEnders, because we are now all the way through, and we're back. We're looking at the brighter side of 1990.
So carry on with this. We've also got the Gray and Chantelle thing going alongside this, because we get a new set, got an office.
Yes, the solicitor's office.
Looks a bit more real than the Wilmot Brown offices we got a few years ago, so that's good.
Well, it's not so much to it, it's just one office.
Yeah, but there's stuff in it. It's not so clean and
yeah, but I think
white.
Wilmot Brown was meant to be a very modern office, while Gray's office is a solicitor's office. There's filing cabinets full of files. Earthy. Yeah, full of information on people and crime, loads of law books and, all that in the background. But all Keegan was there for was to fix a computer screen and accuse a sandwich man for being a drug dealer.
And photocopy some things.
Well, read and photocopy some things.
Just like what Josh used to do.
Yes.
The boss. The boss always seems to do the low down things, like the sandwich man.
Yeah.
Turns out he was the boss, and it's the same as Josh ages ago. He was a photocopy man, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, he was dishing out jobs, though, left, right and centre, to any Lauren that wanted one.
So we got Keegan actually pursuing a career, but he wants to drop out of sixth form, but not to do not soliciting.
We're not soliciting. No, to become a solicitor.
It's a solicitor, but it's not to that. He wants to do a business like the sandwich man.
He wants to start. He wants to start a business from scratch.
He wants to wear trainers at work.
He wants to be able to wear very expensive trainers and be accused of being a drug pick-dealer. And it's that idea kind of goes down like not very well, let's just say, with Mitch, because Mitch says that education is the key, and look at me as an example. You need to have an education.
It's so hard to like Mitch, isn't it? Like, even though we know Gray's horrible, now we can't root for him. Sadly, even though we had our first topless Grey scene, we still can't root for him.
Listen, a topless Grey scene does not warrant abuse.
That's what I mean. We can't root for Gray, but at the same time, when Gray was having a go at Mitch, you're on Gray's side. Well, if you forget about what he's doing to Chantelle.
Well, this is it. If you blank out the whole domestic abuse, the domestic violence, the fact that Chantelle is constantly asking people to stay there when anything goes out of hand, like earlier in the week, when Keegan asks to stay at the house, she says, "Oh, I'm so pleased that you're staying."
Yeah, he knocked on the door just before he was going to hit her.
Exactly, and then later at the end of the week, Chantelle asks Karen to stay behind to check on the kids, but then and Gray again plays the mind games again, doesn't he? Where he says, "Oh, it's not your fault. I don't blame you, Chantelle." But then because Chantelle wants to carry on going into work, and he's
it's normal,
and he's abusing her, saying, "You don't want to go to work. Leave it a couple of days. You don't want to see your dad for a couple of days at the salon." And she's like, "Well, no, I've got clients. I can't let them down." Chantelle just needs to go back to doing the door-to-door hair service, doesn't she? Which she started off doing, the mobile homes.
She might have been more under his control doing that, though, because he might have been able to more easily force her to stay home doing that.
Well, this is the thing. This is where you saw the signs very early on, because when she was first introduced, she said that it's better if I stay at home. It's better if I'm a mum at home. And she kept asking permission from Gray if it would be okay to do it.
Because in the pub he said, no, it's fine, didn't he? We all thought he was being just nice, and she was shy.
Yeah, we did. Little did we know. Little did we know.
I mean, Chantelle really upped her game this week. Her acting, I thought she was really good.
I've enjoyed Chantelle since the beginning, to be honest.
Yeah, but this week, like, her scared facial expressions and things, like, you could tell a lot of what she was thinking without her really saying anything.
She does show a lot of emotion through her physical acting rather than the words she's portraying. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And you're right, her eyes are so expressionistic. When they widen, you can see the fear when she thinks Gray's going to kick off.
You do just feel full of dread every time they're alone now.
I mean, it was a horrible, again, at the end of this week, that scene when he locks the door and he said, "Oh, no one's going to be coming in now, it's just you and me." And she drops the bag and steps back, and you just see the bag of frozen peas.
They're back. Still not opened. They never are. But, took them from Jack last week, I think.
Minute Mart's finest.
The highest selling item in Minute Mart. Bag of frozen peas.
It's because everyone's getting beaten up, you see. Rainie needed them for her bruises.
Yeah, and Ben. Yeah. And Max.
Yeah. Frozen peas. If you got a bruise, frozen pea.
Stacey should have put frozen peas on Max's hand.
Yeah. It's the economy, you see. It used to be a rump steak. It used to be a nice cold steak on your eye, but not now. Frozen peas.
But this storyline ended where Tiff and Keegan did get back together in the end. She didn't leave. She did a Rachel. Yes. I didn't get on the train.
Didn't get on the plane.
No, Tiff wasn't on the train.
Oh, I see.
Rachel wasn't on the plane.
Oh, you're parodying.
Yeah, but that's what she actually said, that, didn't she, Tiff?
I don't know.
I'm sure she did. She said, I didn't get on the train. Or maybe I imagined it in my head. But it was very Ross and Rachel.
Well, it's very nice for them to reference a scene from 2004.
I didn't get on the train. I'm sure she did say that. But yeah, they're together and we're being forced to accept them and love them as a couple.
I don't. What, do you not accept them and love them?
No, I do. I mean, for a heterosexual couple, I like them. They're fine.
Well, a minute ago, you were complaining about there being a potentially another homosexual.
Oh, the Karen one. Yeah, well, the Karen one's not needed. But they're good.
Keegan confessed his love for Tiff, saying that he's always loved her. But we have to remember that he did have a thing for Louise for a little bit.
Yeah, because when he was taking photos of her on the bus.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, and burning her and stuff. He said the reason I do it
is because I love you.
It's because I loved you this whole time. You're the one.
Well, what will he show his love for Tiff then? Throw teddy bears at her?
He does a big rom-com speech in front of everyone.
And also, is Bernie really going to accept this? Because Bernie still really isn't over her.
She was ready for her to go, wasn't she?
But then until she saw the photo that Bailey dug up from the bins when she was doing her recycling, and it was that made. But she implicitly told Keegan to chase her. She didn't want to. She didn't want any part of it.
Well, maybe we'll get a storyline where Karen with a C ends up secretly dating Bernie behind Karen with Kay's back.
What, an affair? Mother and daughter?
A bit like Whitney and Bianca, or Bianca and Carol sort of situation.
Yeah, but you never had a mother and daughter one like that.
Exactly.
With another woman, another Karen. Karen Bernie, CCB.
So that could be what happens with those lot, I guess, to get Bernie over Tiff.
I think we should also quickly talk about, we briefly said about Mitch and his jealousy toward Gray, but obviously his jealousy has made everyone oversee kind of Gray's pushing of Mitch when Mitch eventually cracked and smacked Gray in the face. Do you think that if Mitch wasn't so blatantly jealous, that perhaps more people would have maybe taken Mitch's side rather than everyone instantly jumped on Gray's support?
I suppose Mitch is horrible. I'm on Gray's side, and I know what Gray's doing.
Yeah, but really, Mitch was in a fatherly way. He was right to say he needs an education. Yeah,
but Mitch has no right because he's not been there. Everything that Gray said to Mitch was true. He's not been there. He's a waste of space.
No, but that neither here nor there. He still has a responsibility as a father to say to his son, I think you should stay in school. It's only 2 more years, and then perhaps once you've got your A-levels, then think about maybe being an entrepreneur and starting a business where you're going from office to office.
Gray has no right to parent Keegan because he's never been there for him. So what right has he earned? None. Just a few months ago, he pushed off Dinah and Bailey to Karen when she was dying. He was off playing football. So he has no right to parent Keegan.
Wow. Well, I'm afraid that Mitch is a bitter pill to swallow, but Mitch is going to be someone. Well, no, and we're meant to be supporting Mitch.
Oh no. It's too easy to not support Mitch, that's the trouble. Okay, well, that's enough about the Taylors and their ridiculous storylines. So we're going to go off and play a quick game, and then we'll be back with more. I've been sent more messages from above. Or below.
From the other realm?
Yes.
From another world?
Our friend who recently passed away has got in contact again. Halfway's hat.
Oh, I still can't believe he's dead.
I know. But he is still with us, so...
In spirit, literally.
Not much has really changed.
No, he still likes to say hello, make himself known. In fact, he's in contact a lot more often now.
Yeah.
He used to be quite sporadic.
More sociable now.
I think he misses us. I think he misses being down on earth.
So do you want to see if maybe you can help him again this week? Because you couldn't help him before.
No. But the rules changed slightly this time, haven't they? Because it's not that I need to find out where he is. It's who he's talking to.
Yes.
From
a dead character.
Yes.
From Wolford. So, let's get going.
Hello, it's Halfway's hat, and I've decided to go somewhere a little bit warmer. Hopefully, I can meet some friends down here as well. There's one person I can see. Maybe you could help me work out who they are.
He seems a lot jollier in hell than he does in heaven. In heaven,
a bit happier now, isn't he?
Yeah, in
heaven.
Settled. Maybe that's where he was always meant to be. In heaven, he was very scared of everything and a bit worried. Here, he's like, oh, I've just gone to hell.
Well, each time we speak to him, he gets a bit more confident.
Yes.
It seems.
Yes.
So, for anyone who doesn't know what you do on this game, I give you 3 of Halfway's hat's senses, and then you have to guess who he is talking to.
Okay, and what are the senses this week?
Right, so this week we have he can smell something, he can see something, and he can hear something.
Okay.
So the choice is yours.
So I'd like to know what he can hear.
I can hear that their voice sounds a little bit strange. They definitely didn't grow up in London.
Oh, Halfway's hat. I hope Halfway's hat isn't taking a racist route down this road. Not growing up in London. His voice is a little bit... But it didn't say his... Did he say his voice is a little bit strange?
I don't know.
I can't remember now. Oh, that's cryptic. Oh, God.
He doesn't have a London accent, basically, I guess.
Yes, but so it could be... I mean...
Anyway.
It could be anywhere.
Not Sharon.
Well, Sharon's not dead,
that's right,
thankfully.
That's
true. Dead and doesn't have a London accent. Okay, let's see. What can he smell? Hopefully this isn't going to take a route of something bad.
I can smell petrol and fire coming off of them. And it's not the same smell that I can smell down here.
Is that how the devil lights his fire? Halfway with petrol. So I'm presuming they were burnt to death. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I might have it, but I don't want to say straight away. Someone who's obviously died in a fire, perhaps a
Perhaps a house fire?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what he can see.
Or a petrol station.
Yes. I'd like to know what he can see.
Okay, this is what he can see.
I can see they have quite dark hair on top of their head.
Very descriptive this week, isn't he?
He's getting, like I say, he's pretty improved. 10 out of 10 Halfway's Hat. Okay,
Right.
I'm not going to dilly-dally because I think I know.
Oh,
I know. It's shocking. So, going through the clues. Voice, I reckon it's more that kind of voice.
accent.
Yeah, an accent maybe. Fire, we know that perhaps this character died in a fire. Dark hair, he has dark hair. I think it's Trevor. I think it's Trevor.
Are you sure? No, going back, actually. You've already said it now.
No, I'm saying it's Trevor.
Right, so let's see if you were correct.
Yes, that's correct. He says his name is Trevor Morgan. He seems a little bit scary, actually.
Yes, he is. I'd stay away from him. I wouldn't become too sociable with him. I'd stick to the Nana Moons of the afterworld.
Yeah.
Halfway's Hat.
There you go. You made another friend.
Well, yeah.
And you've now made him make friends with Trevor, so I hope you feel proud.
Well, he was already friends with Trevor. He was just trying to explain who the guy was.
No. He only becomes friends with them if he knows their name. That's the rule.
I'm glad he's making friends.
Yeah,
So,
two friends.
Two
now.
friends already.
Trevor and Nana Moon.
Nana Moon. Do you reckon he'll get them together? They could have a maybe
Well, they're in
court.
different universe. They're in different realms, I think.
Yeah, but you must be able to get like a pass.
Oh yeah,
You can-
because Halfway's Hat can go where he
Yeah,
wants.
Halfway's Hat's going wherever he wants, apparently. I'd like him to go into limbo one week, and so he comes back to the square and talks to a character. The possibilities are endless.
They are. But there you go. That was Halfway's Hat in Hell. No, that's not a very good name. Halfway's Hat, Highway in Hell is what the game is called.
Halfway's Hat. Halfway Highway's Hat to Hell.
That's it.
There you go.
Well, that was a fun game.
It was. Better audio as well.
I would think we pre-recorded these before our holiday.
Yes.
Or did we mention we've been on holiday?
Yeah, we're back in the cabin.
Yeah, back in the cabin. We just had a quick pina colada on the deck side. We haven't had a pina colada.
It's very strange, the recording of this. We're just crowded around a laptop.
We are just around a little table with
food around us.
Coffee cups, cookies, trying to sustain ourselves awake because there's a bit of a time difference as well. So we're doing this much later than it's actually broadcast in the UK. Anyway, enough of our troubles.
It's hard to even remember what EastEnders was happening this week.
It's hard to remember even EastEnders.
But it's fine. We're going through, right, so we're doing the Mitchells now, which is mainly the Ben, Sharon, Phil, Louise.
Shirley,
yeah.
Firm,
she's a Mitchell again.
The Firm 2019. It's back and it's ready to take people out.
Yes. Isn't it strange that Phil called it the Firm? Like, no one seems to be mentioning this anywhere, but I find it weird.
It must be a
throwback. Is it the Firm that he's now, bringing back? Has he always been working with the Firm? Or is it just a new firm?
Or is it just a universal term you call
like villains?
A villain, yeah, a crime squad group of some sort. You just call them the Firm and have done with it. It's like the Mafia. You just call
them. Do you think
the
Joanne from the wine bar is going to come back?
I mean, it's not been unsaid on the show that I do love Joanne and I hope she does return. So if they do bring her back...
She could be Richie's lesbian partner.
I mean, Richie... This is another example of what could have
Richie
been...
Richie was last week, wasn't she?
With Karen. Richie
missed her.
Richie last week came and organised the will... because Phil is... If we're going to quickly throw back to last week, Phil...
He keeps talking about how he might die or come close to death soon.
It's almost like he's foreshadowing something, isn't it? It's strange. Strange that.
He's making enemies of everyone.
He is. Well, he really is, because Sharon's getting a DNA test organised as well. And it's suspicious of how she's got samples from Phil.
I know.
I don't really
because you can't take a hair from a hairbrush. There's no hair.
But it can be anything. It could be spit, blood. It can even be... the other one.
Oh yeah, I wonder how she got her. I wish we saw her going around the house trying to get DNA. That would be really fun.
Because she can't she can't use a hairbrush because he's got nothing to brush.
That's what I said. Yeah. He's bowled all over, I imagine.
Well,
Phil.
Maybe not all over.
I bet he is.
I mean, do you reckon he keeps himself tidy?
Oh yeah.
Good. Because there's nothing worse than for Sharon to.
So yeah, I don't know how she got his DNA, but had a little hand round the sofa, maybe.
Hand round
could something. Could be anyone's DNA in that house. But
well, that's true. Also, she might have got the wrong DNA. Yeah. She might have picked up Keanu's DNA by accident.
Because he lives there too.
Yeah, exactly. And because we know also that it's 99% accurate. What about that 1%? It's like a Jeremy Kyle lie detector test. It's not 100% accurate.
Well, it's 99% accurate unless you're Sharon doing the DNA.
Yes.
Getting the DNA.
The accuracy goes down by about 50% by the way Sharon's done it. She probably got like a pair of rubber gloves, like yellow marigolds, and started running around the house looking for DNA.
So she's doing that. Richie was here last week getting the will changed.
Yep.
The will is a bit weird as well. Like, Ben's not really being left out that much. He still has the arches because he owns the arches. But it's really weird that Phil suddenly is just giving Keanu something in his will.
I don't really
Like, why doesn't he just leave it to Louise in case him and Keanu break up?
Or he finds out that his wife's having a child with Keanu.
It's really odd of Phil to do this. It's just like literally written for the storyline, isn't it?
I think it's another example of Jay, isn't it? It's like he always saw Jay as his son, and now he sees Keanu as his son. Like, anyone is better than Ben in his eyes. There was an interesting post someone put on Twitter again a couple of weeks ago, which was a scene that Phil has a conversation with Ian, and he talks about how he's scared of Ben, and that's the reason why he doesn't really relate to him very much. And they've kind of turned it on its head now. That it's not that Phil is scared of Ben; it's very much down to his sexuality and his lifestyle and the way he lives his life.
Although he did stand up to like Stuart and Callum's dad a few weeks ago with Ben. So
yeah, that's true. That's
weird.
True. It's a strange.
It's very
one.
weird. The whole Ben thing and the Phil thing's weird because we don't really know if Ben is pining for Phil's affection or if he's still doing that plan where he wants to build Phil up and knock him down. Or
that's
you don't know what he really wants.
Well, at the moment
he had a trophy.
He did. Phil did give him a trophy, but then he snapped the trophy because he then felt disappointed that Shirley is taking more responsibility than what he's giving to Ben.
Yes, he's hired her for the firm.
But Phil did show again some heart toward Ben because it was the anniversary of Paul's death, 3 years to the week when Paul was in a homophobic hate crime.
And Ben's blaming himself, wasn't he? Getting drunk, and that's what's worrying Phil for some reason. Even though Phil's an ex-alcoholic, so you think he'd be sympathetic?
Oh yeah, you think he'd give him like leaflets to AA meetings or something like
that?
Well,
Phil was being someone's sponsor last year, so he should be able to give some advice.
Oh yeah, the one Sharon thought he was having an affair with.
So Phil can give advice. Kathy used to be Samaritan. She could give advice to Ben.
Well, Kathy, the whole reason she set up a gay bar was so she could hook Ben up
with drunk one night stands, and now has to go at him for doing.
What's your problem, Kathy? Hey? There's also the Louise story because Louise has come out to her, not as gay, but to her school friends, her so-called school friends.
Oh yeah, the ones that just appeared at the train station. We've never seen them before.
We've never seen them before. Never been mentioned before. Yeah,
is it Sharon? I'm sure it was.
They're like bitchy lot. I mean, why did Louise hang around with all these people? Why does she socialise with?
Why couldn't they bring back Alex and Madison as well? That could have been them. Well, back again.
Alex and Madison, I'm presuming, are in a juvenile prison somewhere.
Processing fire to prom 2017. But yeah, I'd like to see them back. But yeah, basically the same characters again. But I don't feel sorry for Louise because Louise is horrible to Bex.
Well, yes. Well, Louise is only out for getting help and advice from Bex and only cares what Bex's problems are when it helps her as well. So she benefits from Bex's pain, essentially. There was someone who was concerned with her though, and that's Mel. Mel was watching from the outside in and thought, "This isn't Louise."
Isn't it funny as well? Like the second we know that Mel's leaving, they start writing Mel as like nice and interacting with people.
Yeah, I know.
Like when you know that she's gone, it's like now we know that she's going. We want her to stay now.
I mean, I'm not fussed if they keep her like this for too long because I liked vicious. But again, gone really quiet with the whole Hunter thing. Her trying to get some money up and trying to
There's only so much you can go with that storyline, obviously, because she's leaving.
I guess, but like the whole Jack thing, it's like it's got written off really quickly when Rainie stole all the money from Jack. It's just really odd, but it's nice to see Mel. Yeah, being she's not supportive. She's not her niece, is it? It's just
no. But they grew up together with Hunter, didn't they, in a villa somewhere?
Well, there was a reference, wasn't it, when Louise said like when I was a kid when she was talking about Bailey being an eco-warrior. Bailey seems to just pop into our conversations this week. How she liked ponies and pink things, and it's like I can proper believe that in Louise as well.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, not a thing.
Yeah, I mean Mel sorted out the new Alex and Madison.
Yeah, not Weird, though, don't you think, that she was like, oh, can you stop being obsessed with my friend, please? It's like, what?
So you're messaging her, you must be obsessed with her.
Yeah. Do you love her? Are you also gay? It's like, all roads lead to homosexuality.
It was really weird, but that was that, I guess. I don't know, will we see Sharon again?
I don't think so. I think she had her purpose, and it's happened.
I mean, the last part of the Mitchells was also, we had Phil, who Shirley told the Slaters last week that if you give the money back, there'll be no repercussions. So Stacey gave her Tupperware box that she got from somewhere, and
she's got a lot of Tupperware, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's giving out shepherd's pie in
she
Tupperware.
really is a Fowler now.
She really is.
Not a Slater. And then Phil said to Stacey, I haven't forgiven you. So again, building up another enemy for who killed Phil next week.
Wait, no. You made this mistake on Twitter. You had lots of people saying to you. You said,
on Twitter,
is she going to die?
Who does him in, I said.
Yeah, and so people associated that with death. So everyone thought that you meant that Phil was going to die. You had to quickly backtrack and explain.
Well, all the newspapers use clickbait headlines like that. Phil murdered,
Yes,
or Phil left for dead.
We're not a clickbait Twitter
That's true.
page. By the way, if you want to follow us, at EastEnders Week on Twitter. You can also find us on Instagram, at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, and Facebook. Just click to join our Facebook group.
Yes. And so Stacey's another enemy for Phil. Ben, maybe Keanu next week. Sharon, she's kidnapping recently, so she could be a suspect.
With Karen.
Yeah, with Karen or Mitch.
Hey, that would have been a nice relationship. If
What,
Karen
Sharon
and
and Karen?
Karen and Sharon, yeah.
No.
Sharon. So we ran a poll, didn't we, to say who we thought will do Phil in, and it's still running probably when this goes out.
Yeah, it's running for like a week.
All right, and we're going to talk about the results next week after obviously the episodes of Phil's. It's a bit like Who Shot Phil, isn't it? I guess
A bit. I'm sad that Lisa's not back, just so she could be a suspect again.
But Lisa could be a suspect, couldn't she? She could have come down.
Oh yeah. Apparently Lisa has a flat like nearby as well now. She's doing okay for herself, Mel said.
Oh yeah, in Croydon.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that near to London. Is Croydon? I'm not sure.
It was not that far.
I can't imagine there being too many of lovely flats in Croydon.
It also made me laugh how Louise said to Mel that Lisa didn't even know that her and Keanu were a couple. Did she not talk to Lisa at all, ever, about anything?
Last time she called Lisa, she was upset.
Christmas.
She was upset about something, wasn't she?
Yeah, it was Mel and Ray's wedding.
No, wasn't it that? It wasn't that, was it? It was when she found out about Sharon and Keanu. When Sharon made her listen to the workout.
No, it was Ray and Mel's wedding because she was outside the Vic, and Hunter was all worried, and then he was nice to Louise outside.
Oh, well, that she was talking to Lisa.
Yeah, it was
then?
New Year's, and she told Bex outside that she'd been sectioned again.
Oh, right. Oh, dear. Well, this is the whole thing, isn't it? That she's worried that any kind of news is going to send her over the edge. I mean, it'd be interesting if, when she comes back, she's there for long enough to maybe interact with Stacey. Because they're quite similar. It seems as though they've taken... they both had somewhat similar paths along the way.
No, Stacey's off. Lacey Turner's given birth now. She must be off soon. She must have worked right up to the end.
You can tell. all the Tupperware she was holding in front of her stomach.
Well, spoiler, there's an episode, I think the 6th of August, which is a Tuesday episode, but it's heavily embargoed. There's only one line of spoilers being released for it, so everyone thinks that's Stacey's last episode, that one.
Oh, they're going to give her a proper send-off as well, aren't they?
So,
maybe
yeah.
Kim will come back for that episode too.
Right, so while we're on the subject of the Slaters, we've also got the big Slater storyline. Kat and her are still feuding, but it's the same thing. They're stuck in a shed together at the beginning of the week.
It's a plan from the well-known Oscar-nominated BAFTA award-winning film Never Give In, Ben.
Yeah, they keep making up fake films and stuff, don't they, this week?
Yeah. Can I just tell you the synopsis of the film, or what I could make out the synopsis of the film from what Martin and Kush were describing it? So it's when two men were locked into a room to settle their differences. Hang on, light bulb moment for Kush and Martin. And the twist was, which Robbie ruined actually for Martin.
Oh yeah, I remember, yeah.
The twist was that one of them was a robot.
Oh, I thought it was they just saw their hands off or something.
No, one of them was a robot.
Oh. What were they talking about when they said one of them had to cut their arms off?
I think that also happened.
Or was that in the same film?
Well, because then I thought
Double twist.
Well, then I thought they were talking about the film Saw. Because I think it's that.
Yeah,
they had to
Saw.
chop his ankle off, not his ankle off, but his foot off. But then it must be as I said, the film that I've never seen, Never Give In.
That's not real.
What? Really? Oh, I put it in IMDb.
It's not real.
I was adamant that someone had made a page for it by the end of the episode. But
maybe the
not.
twist is that when he sawed the arm off, he knew he was a robot.
We had Circuits coming out.
Yeah.
Like the film Short Circuit.
There you go.
Which is a far more superior film.
You don't know that.
I know that Short Circuit is an amazing film.
Well, Martin and Kush liked it, so...
But they did. But it gave them an idea, as I said, that if they... they haven't got their own room, but they do have a shed in an allotment.
But you could easily kick the door in.
And so what they were going to do is they were going to arouse both Kat and Stacey to then think that they're getting a promise inside the shed, but instead... they had to talk it through,
but it didn't work.
But it didn't work,
No.
and there was no real ending to it either.
I know. You didn't see him get out of the shed either.
Well, Stacey just knocked on the door and said, "That's enough, Martin."
Yeah,
and then
let me out now.
That was the end of it. So it was a bit moot, wasn't it? Not much of a point to it.
I mean, we also had wonderful mentions from our archivist who we love. Another one, which was Pauline Fowler's shepherd pie.
Yes, a recipe from a cookbook we may never see.
No, we were trying to work out. We thought maybe it's a one from Lou Bill that she passed to Pauline, that Pauline has unknowingly passed to Stacey. But then shepherd's pie, you said it comes from Ireland.
It's got Irish heritage, the shepherd's pie.
And they mentioned Maggie's funeral a few months ago. Yes. Her secret sister.
The secret Irish family.
Yeah. So was it from them that they gave to Pauline as like a goodbye present?
Maybe on the last day she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to insult the Irish by doing an accent. I'm sorry. I was about to, but then I stopped myself. Have this recipe, Pauline. Have this recipe of shepherd's pie, and don't forget to share it down with your daughter-in-law."
Not Sonia.
Not Sonia.
But so yeah, that was the first. The next reference is with our Kathy, which we'll talk about later, which was amazing. The amount of Kathy we had this week.
Was it? Some might say too much Kathy.
No.
Oh, clearly not you.
God. We're talking about the who are we talking about? The Fowlers and Max and Ruby. There's so many characters in all these storylines. We had the new romance of Ruby and Max as well after his breakdown, where Stacey, the Max and Stacey thing was happening again.
I know.
She went to go care for him.
Who's that writer who always has to do a Max and Stacey story every time he writes?
Oh, it's
he did one 2 Christmases ago.
I can't remember. It's Simon Ashdown, is it?
I'm not. I don't know.
Or someone little. One of I can't remember who it is.
What,
no, I think it's Simon Ashdown.
Okay.
Who always does Max and Stacey. But
when you say someone little, do you mean a little person?
No, Darren Little.
Oh, I see. Their name is Little.
He was in the news this week.
Oh, was he? For what?
He did a tweet when he was jet lagged saying about a list of characters he wanted to kill.
Yes. And he got in a lot of trouble for it.
Yeah, the woman from Coronation Street was upset and she messaged. The one, Tracy Barlow?
Oh, well, the actress who plays Tracy Barlow.
She was upset with what he was saying.
Well, I mean, she has killed on Coronation Street. This isn't a Coronation Street podcast, but she has killed on Coronation Street, and yet she's never really got her comeuppance for it. But
she was moaning on Twitter that she had to curl her hair every day for her scene, because Tracy has curly hair and she has straight hair, and it was breaking her hair.
Oh, the things you do. The things you do for money.
But anyway, we're not talking about Coronation Street. I haven't seen it for 2 weeks.
No, we haven't.
So back to the Fowlers.
We've barely seen EastEnders.
So we had the Max and Stacey thing happening again, which bores me to death.
Well, and also deeply upset Martin, because he knows that Max literally has to waft past Stacey, and she's like, "Oh, Max," and again it showed this week because Max got together with Ruby. And you could tell Stacey was deeply hurt by this.
And it was really insulting how she said to Martin, like, "I'll cook you Pauline Fowler's shepherd pie."
Tasty.
To say sorry. Veg from Arthur's allotment.
Of course.
To say sorry to him.
Scattered, but with the ashes.
Of joy. Also, Arthur's ghost is there because he died there.
Goodness me. Those vegetables are really haunted.
They're so rich. She then gets out a Tupperware box again and says, "I'm going to pop over and give some to Max." And the second he walked out of the room, he said, "Oh, I love you," and kissed her on the forehead and walked out of the room. She then got on the mobile phone and phoned Max straight away.
Yeah, that was insulting, wasn't it?
She's really annoying at the moment.
Yeah,
she is.
I promise. Tonight's about you and me. Mine goes off to get changed. Yeah. All right, Max, call me back. Terrible.
We also had the storyline of Max's self-harm back again after 2 years missing.
That's why he's been wearing the long sleeve shirts.
Because I can't remember who knew about that, but Carmel knew about it, didn't she? And someone else. I can't remember who else.
Yes, he used it as a way of getting
her USB stick.
Her USB stick, and that's not a euphemism. That happened.
But I couldn't remember if Stacey already knew, but apparently she didn't. But now she does. So that's back again, trying to make us feel sympathy for Max, but I still don't. It's impossible to feel sympathy for him.
Because he just it's like Martin hit the nail on the head. Everything that's happened to him is due to him. It's all his own fault. And now like, after confessing his love to Mel and saying, oh, we could be something really good together. And then this week he sleeps with Ruby after doing her tax return form, and then says, oh yeah, we could be something good together. It's like,
and literally the episode before he was like drunk and upset over baby Abby and Abby, photos of Abby getting knocked on the floor, and then he had to go at Ricky for knocking over that photo for no reason.
Well, he was having a go at everyone. He had to go at Tiff because Tiff asked how Jack was. Well, you would know, wouldn't you? Would you put him there? It's goodness sake, Jack.
I know. Max just needs to go. He should go with Stacey, I think.
Yeah, why not?
They both need a bit of a rest. Well, Max needs a permanent rest, and Stacey, I think this maternity leave is good.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think her character's a bit tired at the moment because she's just, everything's awful about her.
Well, I mean, Stacey's biggest insult toward Max once she found out that he'd slept with Ruby was, you better wash up that Tupperware box before you give it back to me. It's like, whoa, calm down, Stacey.
Also, everything she was saying to Max, like trying to reassure him about baby Abby, like she should have relayed that back to what she's doing to Kush about Arthur. It's the exact same situation, so she's really annoying.
Well, she's also said this week or last week to Martin that she felt really hurt and upset that Martin and Kush are friends behind her back, and it's like, well, it's not their war, it's your war, so don't be silly.
I know, it's annoying. And Ruby said something really stupid as well, where she said, who'd go on a date from a dating app?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
what?
You catfish someone.
And that's what the app is for.
Yeah.
But she didn't bother going for that. She ended up just sleeping with Max, which again...
Well, the guy didn't turn up. Presumably it was a guy. Didn't turn up for dating. Yeah.
Or Karen.
Yeah, it could be anyone. Karen with a C or Karen with a K.
And also Lola and Ruby are friends, like, seems, because she did her hair for her.
Oh, yeah.
I was expecting that to be like a thing where Lola would purposely ruin her hair, but they didn't do
Burn her hair off.
They just didn't give her a storyline again. But
well, it was meant to be a restyle, but it just ended up being just a quick once-over in the curling tongs.
Ruby was like, can anyone fit me in to do some curling tongs? And Denise was like, no. And then for some reason Lola said, I can do a restyle, which takes like double the amount of time. And then all she did was curl her hair. So it's not like Julie's.
No, Julie wouldn't take no stick.
Talk about classic EastEnders again.
Yeah, Julie wouldn't get any appointments though.
I love that in the old classic one, that the salon, they actually do like proper hairdressing things. I notice them all the time.
They're washing a lot of hair.
Yeah, but everything they're doing is actual proper hairdresser stuff. When they do it nowadays, they just comb the hair all the time.
Do you know, constantly for the last 2 weeks, because we've got old episodes of EastEnders, so we've kind of been binging them when we've had a bit of downtime, and you've been moaning about 1989. You've referenced 1989 4 times already in this podcast.
Yeah,
so
I like
it can't
Julie.
be that bad a year.
No, it is. Well, we'll see our review in the next few weeks, won't we?
Yes, a couple of weeks' time.
Right, so we're going to move on again onto our second game. Because there's no features, 2 games.
Are we going back to the studio for that?
Yeah, the quality might improve.
So, Ben, you may remember way back in 2015, EastEnders celebrated a birthday, and they had a bit of a live week. And in this live week, the BBC EastEnders Twitter account was taken over by Tamwar Masood. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And so during the live broadcasts throughout the week, there would be tweets sent out by Tamwar for people to enjoy.
Tamwar tweets.
That's exactly what it was. Hashtag Tamwar tweets.
Mm-hmm.
So on this week's Mick Carter's Having a Bubble game, I'm going to read out a potential tweet that could have been written by Tamwar. And you have to tell me if it's real by saying, that's Babe Ruth. Or it's a lie by saying, you're telling me porkies.
God's sake, why do you have to do these words?
Because it's Mick Carter's Having a Bubble.
That's Babe Ruth.
That's Babe Ruth.
Oh, Babe.
We go through this every week. And if it's a lie, you're telling me porkies. And you know what? I'm actually not going to give you the point, even if you're right, if you don't say those words. Because you think you get away with it, and some weeks you do, but on this occasion you're not, okay? And there's 7 potential tweets for you to get right, okay? So, here we go. The first one. Anyone who wants to look at the old tweets, just put in hashtag Tamwar tweets. You can look at them now. So these are all in chronological order.
Ooh.
So that might help you a little bit too. So the first one. BRB. Just going to a wedding in a restaurant under a railway line. Is that a real or a fake tweet by Tamwar?
To do with the live week, fake.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, telling porkies.
I'm afraid you're wrong. That's a Babe Ruth.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the most boring one of them all.
Okay.
So they get quite exciting after this. Here we go. Number 2, just watching my dad's ex marry her ex. Also, her ex's ex is watching. Plus, we're set behind dad's other ex. Hashtag excess of exes. Is that a true tweet or one I've just made up?
That's true because Ian and Jane's wedding bit became live and they all sat in rows. So that's true.
So what is it, Ben?
Oh, that's Babe Ruth.
That's correct. It is Babe Ruth. It's the truth. He sent that tweet out exactly at the wedding. Next one. Heading to the Vic for the wedding party and I can't even drink. At least I'll be fresh for work at the market in the morning. Is that Babe Ruth or am I telling you porkies?
Telling porkies.
Yeah, that's correct. He did tweet that he drinks so much orange juice in the Queen Vic, his vitamin C levels are going through the roof. So that was the real tweet that I took off and altered and edited a little bit. Number 4, bit weird how we are just sitting here clapping, watching them snog. As long as they're happy, I guess.
Telling porkies.
No, that's a truth. That's a real one. Yep, he sent out after the wedding ceremony, and Ian and Jane, before Ian and Jane started doing the more dramatic scenes.
Their life was ending.
Yeah, their life was torn apart, which is now feeling the echo effect to this day. Number 5, I wish I wore my Dot Cotton costume for the reception. Is that a real or a fake tweet?
He did dress up as her as one of his comedy storylines.
He did. This is when he was doing the comedy club and Jane was there too. So Jane was
I'm going to say telling porkies.
It's a lie. It certainly is. Yeah. He does mention quite a lot throughout his time of using the EastEnders Twitter account that he doesn't like wearing a suit. So he's a bit like you.
Oh yeah.
You hate wearing a suit. What's about a suit that you don't like?
Restrictive.
Restrictive. You look very smart though. You should be proud of yourself. You hope you're proud of yourself. Number 6, I think Linda just proposed to Mick. Not going to lie, I thought they were already married. Is that a real or a fake tweet? During Tamwar tweets?
That's Babe Ruth.
No, it's a real one.
That's what I just said. That's Babe Ruth. The truth.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
God.
I should follow my own rules. Look at me telling you off. Yep, that was a true tweet. Final one, number 7. Still can't believe Kim gave birth tonight on the floors of the Vic. I hope they bleached them beforehand. Is that a real or a fake tweet?
Telling porkies.
Porky pies?
Yeah.
It is a fake one. However, he does tweet that he cannot believe that there is no cake after Kat threw Sonia into it.
I remember that. Watched it all recently, see?
Yeah, but you weren't watching it with the tweets. That's just because you know what happened in the story.
I'll do that now from now on.
You should.
I'll pretend it's live.
But the BBC, maybe the BBC will let us take over their official BBC account.
Well, yeah, they let Louise Lighton, who plays Ruby, do it. Why not us?
Yeah, let us have a few. Well, you can actually. We do tweet live during the EastEnders. Just follow our Twitter account. If you want the fun Twitter, come to our Twitter account at EastEnders Week. We tweet live every time EastEnders is broadcast live on the BBC. So you got 5 out of 7.
Yeah, that's quite good.
That's very good. That's above average.
Good.
Do you want to rate your score after a character? You like to do that during games.
That's a Tamwar.
That's a lazy reference as well, but I'm pleased with you.
Thanks.
So there we go. So that was another game of Mick Carter's having a bubble.
The rules have gone out the window. I'm eating cookies.
Well, that's not going to be very nice for people's ears, but that's fine. So what we're going to go on to now is one of the most explosive exits we've seen in recent history.
It was a shock to the system, a shock to the core. No one saw it coming, nor did anyone see it.
No, Kim, she's left.
She's going to Scotland.
Yes, I mean it was reported in the papers because you wouldn't have known that she was left otherwise. I think they had to report it. That first of all, the Sun said that she had quit, and then a few hours later, BBC released a press statement saying that she's taken temporary exit. So it's not a permanent one. And that's all they said, no comment. So I've been sleuthing online like I like to sleuth.
Yeah.
An online sleuth. Lots of theories are that the Sun, who like to leak things and do embargoes and whatever they want to do, they basically put this out even though it seems like Tamika wanted to keep it private because people think that she might be pregnant, but her first pregnancy was really traumatic and difficult, so she's probably taking extra time.
Well, she gave birth in the Vic toilets.
No, not Kim. Tamika.
You mean the Minute Mark toilet pregnancy? No. Okay.
She had a very difficult pregnancy and it was very hit and miss and all sorts of private stuff. She's obviously a private person, so she wanted obviously to keep it private and just have temporary leave early to make sure everything's okay. the Sun, being the gutter trash they are,
Wow.
just leaked it anyway, because that's what they wanted to do. So it's been known as a temporary exit. Nothing's confirmed if she is pregnant in real life or anything, but that's the theories online.
Okay, well, it makes sense if she wants to keep it private. That's understandable.
But yeah, temporary exit for Kim. And it seems to have been written quite hastily because she hasn't appeared in ages anyway.
Yeah, there'd been no story for her other than when she got fired by Denise.
Yeah, but that was obviously just written in as well.
And it would indicate that perhaps there was always meant to be more of a story between them two as well, because that was obviously
like Chantelle. It was probably going to be her and Chantelle feuding, and then Kim maybe be the first one to find out about Gray, and then that's how they become
that would have been interesting.
Friends after their feud, I guess. But we'll never know. But no, she got a job interview in Scotland, apparently.
From her gay friend.
Yeah, gay cousin, isn't it, or something?
No, it's just her gay friend.
Oh.
Yeah, she knows
but
the scene in
she is
Edinburgh.
part Scottish, because we had that weird storyline a few months ago. But she went missing a few months ago as well, didn't she?
She Skyped from Scotland for Denise's 50th birthday.
And apparently that was it. That was her exit.
She thought that Shirley's due, because Shirley, we should have mentioned in the Phil storyline, Shirley's taken a step back from the Vic as well. And Mick had warned Shirley, don't bring any of Phil's business into the Vic. But she thought that retirement party that everyone kept calling it was for
that was sweet.
Kim's leaving.
I thought it was for her, but it wasn't. But she didn't make a big deal about it.
No, she didn't. Well, as I said, nor did she make a big deal of her leaving.
No, she's off.
She's very quiet.
Earning some bucks. I mean, speaking of the Vic, it's quite interesting how empty the Vic is now. There's two characters that live there. Linda and Mick, and that's it.
The Carters, they really don't have the dominance of the Vic anymore. We were talking, actually, weren't we, between ourselves? There's no...
And Tracy works there. But that's it. Tracy, Mick and Linda.
But Tracy catches a bus, doesn't she, every morning to come to come and work in the Vic. It seems to me that there looks like there's hints that the Carters might be pushed out of the Vic.
I think so.
I think that's what seems
to be
There's not
much going on there, is there?
No.
The Vic normally has so many characters in it, but it's just those two.
When you say characters, you mean living above
the
Vic?
in the Vic, the heart of the square.
Yeah, and it's normally a family of some sort, or the Mitchells. And it just seems to me that they're slowly eking the Carters out of the Vic. And it's been talked about before. I think we've talked about it on a podcast in the past. What would the Carters have if they didn't have the Vic?
I don't think they would have anything. That's the trouble. When Kate Oates first took the job, she said she was keeping them in the Vic. But, that was ages ago. John Sen might have shoved them out.
Can't put anything bad on the blame of John Sen.
But the other part of this mini storylines that we're talking about is also Bobby's birthday we had, 16th birthday.
Yeah, and he got a gift from his friend.
One scene he got. Not much time this week.
No, they are building Bobby up slowly, but then I hope they don't make the mistake of the Habiba and Ikra build up very slowly, because otherwise people are just going to forget about him.
But yeah, he got a bracelet which had something written on it. Ian thought it was Chinese.
Kathy took a great interest in it. What does it mean, Bobby?
I know. Didn't he say a quote to her and she just went, okay.
Yeah, that was last week. Yeah, he was just quoting something from the Quran. I can't remember even where it was linked to. But yeah, and Kathy just kind of nodded and went, that's nice. That's nice, Bobby. Tapped him on the head and patted him up to the bed.
But yeah, so that was the Bobby thing. I think I saw spoilers for a few weeks that he works at Wolford East, so obviously he'll be working with Ikra and Habiba. So maybe that's where his he might ask them some questions about the religion, I guess.
Religion of Muslim.
So moving on to one of the big ones this week, which is the Rainie one. Because last week she had a big storyline which we missed, where she was faking being a pretend person in the hotel, and she lost the £75,000 that she took from Jack.
Yes. She didn't lose it, she had it stolen from her. She didn't put it down somewhere and forgot where she put it.
And her and Stuart came up with that plan where she was going to lure people in because she was pretending to be a prostitute, and then Stuart would turn up, scare them and take the money, and she wouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, she had the money ready, but then it went wrong.
Because that silly old woman dropped a
I've got to find a £1 coin for my trolley.
And she got beaten up, and that's when she was back at Kathy's with baby Abby in the corner near the outside loo.
Yes. Near
Lou Bill's commode.
Yeah, I forgot about that. She was hiding under a bin bag or something, wasn't it? It's oh, baby Abby, and then it was the flower pot men. She just kind of appeared from behind this blanket. It was oh, hello, I'm here too. It's me, Rainie.
So yeah, this is where we had the amazing Kathy having scenes with everyone. So nice to see Kathy taking control.
We also learnt the secret of Kathy's youth. this week.
That was at Bobby's party.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was at Bobby's party where she was like, go on, blow out the balloon, blow out the candles, and she like pushed him aside and did it herself.
Yeah, Lexi. It's like, no, Lexi, you're doing it wrong. So that's what she does. She sucks out youth from blowing out people's birthday candles.
Makes sense. She hasn't aged since 85. And yeah, we had some great scenes with Rainie where she's obviously being beaten up, so she's in pain. So we have like that addiction storyline coming up.
Again, so this was the next great reference of the week, where Kathy references her daughter.
I know, Donna, which is amazing. We said it a few weeks ago, we did a whole thing about Donna.
Oh yeah, we did a first till last. It was on episode 70.
Sharon's up the duff. Or duff.
The duff. That's the episode title. If you want to hear all about Kathy's daughter, then go to that episode and find the first to last section.
Where we go deep dive into Donna Ludlow.
We do deep dive into Donna.
She was a fantastic, she was a really interesting character, and she does have loads of similarities to Rainie. Like, even the way she looks, actually. So they are very similar characters in lots of ways, but, you know, Kathy's saying that she knows about addicts. She then goes out and tries to bite.
I know, it's like she's done exactly the wrong thing. She said, oh, you know, you're not like Donna because I believe in you. So you didn't believe in your own daughter.
And it was nice to hear that Kathy said that she's felt guilty about Donna. Because you've never really seen that from Kathy's sides in the past.
Which it's just not been referenced, and it's a part of her life that she's kind of, it's just been not erased, but just has not necessarily been needed to be brought up. It's happened a lot. The amount of referencing they're doing on the programme, and this is just another good example of how well it's been used.
We keep going on about them, saying they should mention this, and they keep doing it. So we're going to keep demanding.
We have the power. They need to talk about Trevor.
What, Trevor Shaw?
Yeah, shoehorn a Trevor. Or Mo Butcher. I'm loving Mo Butcher.
That'd be difficult though, because no one knows Mo Butcher anymore.
Well, Tiff
wouldn't know her.
Well, Tiff's got Pat's earring.
Somewhere.
And Bianca could say, oh yeah.
Bianca
Pat
wouldn't know her either.
Yeah, but she could say Pat used to talk all about her mother-in-law.
No, they got to mention Julie's salon with Denise somehow. In her salon. She'll find an old leaflet in the attic, like, for Julie's. A voucher.
A pink and grey voucher for an OAP special, 50% off, plus you get your tea leaves read.
Written by Ethel.
Yeah, in her own handwriting.
That's what we want. Archive this, come on.
Keep it coming.
If you want to do it properly, do that.
Do it right.
Anyway, back on to the actual subject of Kathy stealing all the scenes. She's obviously trying to get Rainie addicted to painkillers unknowingly.
Well, she's not on purpose.
No, I know, but she's not doing a very good job for a Samaritan. Stuart's like being the good guy. He's got heat pads.
Good one. He said his nan swears by them.
His nan? Is she gonna be introduced? Nana Highway? She could be a new matriarch on the show.
Can you imagine if they bring a whole family of the Highways in?
Yeah,
the dad comes back, the nan, his daughter.
The nan could be really supportive to Callum.
His daughter, his ex-wife.
Yeah, Zara. Yeah, they could all come in.
Why not?
And then we also had like the beginnings of a possible romance between them. Another prediction by you that you wanted to see, Stuart and Rainie.
Yes, I did, and I stand by my thoughts that they would make a really interesting couple. Just the menacing between them. I don't like them
being a bit goody at the moment, though, isn't he, Stuart?
Yeah, but I don't think it'll take long for Rainie to want to push Stuart to the point, because we've seen Rainie push Stuart.
And with the prostitute
thing. But not just the prostitute thing, earlier on as well, we've seen how he can be influenced by Rainie. And, you know, and it's just, and they've already got their own little joke over Kathy calling her Granny Smack. You know, I love.
How dare they call Kathy Granny Smack?
I love it. I absolutely loved it. And Rainie, the other thing is that Rainie found out that Max is together with Ruby after Ian came in and boasted about it, calling him the king of the cock, and kind of obviously mixing up two metaphors wrong. And I think when Stuart said to Rainie, I like you, I really like you, I think there's always going to be a part of Rainie that thinks, actually, I can use you, Stuart, to get my revenge on Max. Because you could tell Rainie was quite upset that Max, again, has moved on. No. He's done it once by a woman in France, and now he's done it, then he did it with Mel, and now he's doing it with Ruby.
Does Ruby not think, like, Ruby knows that he's married to Rainie, and, like, their sham marriage isn't known, is it? Or does everyone just know?
Jack knows about it. I'm presuming it's just one of those common knowledge things now.
So Ruby's just like, yeah, it's fine then, I'll go with this married guy.
Well, I don't think Ruby has many morals.
They keep ruining Ruby's character. They keep giving her storylines, like, not her own, but, like, just like around her. It's really weird.
Isn't there rumours, and again, this might be a spoiler, so do skip maybe 30 seconds or so, but isn't there rumours that the reason Max is getting together with Ruby is, again, all about the money? Everyone seems to get together with people for money.
Because he looked at her like accounts or something, didn't he, to help her computer or something this week.
Oh, so yes, of course, because he helped her with her VAT return. And
so, yeah, he must know how much she's worth, and he's probably going to steal money, even though he shamed Rainie for doing that same thing.
No, yeah, but this is Max. This is basically Max written
Max
away.
Branning is trash.
Max Branning is trash.
He is. So yeah, romance with Rainie and Stuart possibly, and Kathy's just taking charge.
Kathy's Granny Smack. She's dishing out the drugs. But you know, I don't blame her, because she feels as though Rainie is unfit to look after Abby, and she did give an hour to Max for Abby, upsetting
naughty Kathy.
Rainie, did it behind her back without her permission. So I think in Kathy's head that she's doing all the right things, but she's actually doing it very wrong. She thinks in the short term this is the best solution, but she's not looking at the long run of what could potentially happen. And funnily enough, the one person who is thinking about Rainie's well-being is Stuart, but again, is Rainie manipulating Stuart in order to get a greater benefit to upset Max, who's also manipulating Ruby. So it's a complicated
I'm getting
tale.
so fed up of baby Abby.
She's just a child.
I know, but she might as well just go live with Cora and Tanya now, and just let Rainie and Max and Stuart and Ian and Kathy just do something else. Because they keep saying Baby Abby as well, which is annoying, even though we trademarked it.
Well, I was going to say it's partly our fault, because we kept saying Baby Abby as a joke, and now it's been used.
I know.
It's been picked up.
Yeah, I'm ready for Baby Abby to move on and get recast as Lorna Fitzgerald in 15 years.
Baby Abby just gets a little stick with a napkin attached to it and a rattle.
No, she just can live with Tanya or whatever.
Yeah, but Tanya's not talking to...
No,
Lauren. Lauren won't take Max's calls either.
And then, did you notice that Max said that Tanya must be better now, because Tanya doesn't let Max see the little boy, Oscar. So she must be better. So she can have Baby Abby. Just get rid of her.
But I don't think she wants Baby Abby. Wasn't it just decided by
No, she
Cora?
did, but she had a breakdown. And Cora was going to take her, because she was available for filming.
Yeah, but then Cora was like, oh, you know what, actually, for the greater good, you might as well just have Baby Abby.
No, didn't they, blackmail Cora, because she hit Rainie with a frying pan, remember? And she said, I won't charge you with assault if you give up your custody battle. That's how they got rid of Cora.
It's so funny how they always say, it's like, just do it for the greater good of Baby Abby. I don't think none of them should have Baby Abby.
None of them. Even Kathy.
She put Granny Smack, isn't she? She'll put something in the bottle. I think Baby Abby needs to go to...
Lauren in New Zealand?
No, God, no, not Lauren.
Why?
Lauren walked out with her child to move away from Josh. She didn't want to be with Josh. She just walked off, leaving her child with it.
Simon Wicks, then. Simon Wicks, go take Baby Abby.
Bring Simon Wicks back. Definitely. I'll be up for some Wixie.
Anyway, that's the week's roundup, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a bit of a mess. It wasn't a mess, was it? It was
alright.
Yeah.
Bit like the show. It's just that the trouble is everything is everywhere. We're in a small cabin in the sea.
We're very tired.
We're doing what we're doing.
We're very tired, and we
watched EastEnders on a little screen.
Tiny little screen. It was scrambled. It was very difficult to see what was going on.
We've eaten too much.
Yeah.
Drunk too much, and that's this week.
But we have watched a lot of classic, hence why we keep putting a lot of classic into the programme.
I don't think that's helped, actually.
No, it's confused things even further.
But right, so we're going to go on to Who Won the Week and all of your comments, which are flooding in to our limited internet.
You know me, I ain't one to gossip.
Thank God for limited internet, Ben, because now we can fill another 10 minutes with Who Won the Week. And you seem so pleased. As usual, this is the part of the show right at the end where we talk about your comments on Twitter, which you can find us at EastEnders Week, on our Instagram at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or our Facebook group, which you can find by searching EastEnders Weekly Podcast and then clicking to join the group. Now, normally Ben likes to do a bit of this happened a few years back on this week, and then does a few birthdays, but sadly neglected it this week. So after a quick search, I was able to find a quick story that happened 3 years ago.
Because 3 years ago? Because Paul died?
Well, yes, it's not that obvious. Not only did Paul die, which you're quite right.
Johnny came back.
No, not the Johnny comes back story. No, Jack encourages Ricky to join the Beavers. And to do so, Jack becomes the head of a troop. Do you remember when Jack used to wear his little woggle and used to be?
What's a woggle?
Woggle is the plastic thing you put around the scarf to keep it around your neck.
Oh right.
So do you remember that story? Jack tried to persuade Ricky.
Briefly, because didn't Ingrid do something like with the beavers or something?
I don't know. All I remember is Jack was dressed up as a beaver for about...
The beaver?
No, not in the beaver costume.
Are the female.
No, they're not.
Group.
Beavers are the boys.
Are
You're thinking
they?
the brownies.
Oh.
Brownies are the girls.
Well, I'm sure Ingrid did something like that alongside.
But Ben, we live in the 21st century now, and boys can be beavers or brownies,
can
girls be brownies or beavers. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
It doesn't matter anymore.
I never went to any of it. It's all rubbish.
Beavers
refused.
Beavers was fun. It was the Cub Scouts I didn't enjoy. Anyway, so...
Can boys and girls do Cub Scouts?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all mixed now. Everyone's. It's not even a modern thing that happened like years ago.
I always refused to do it to my mum.
So, good for you. Jack struggled to get to Ricky about joining the Beavers because Ricky was more interested in his video game.
That's what I would be doing.
But Jack threw Ricky's video game in the bin.
That's back when Jack was rubbish. Jack was trash. But Jack's good now.
The Brannings are trash. No, Jack's amazing now.
Not amazing.
Oh, I love Jack. He's great.
God.
Yeah, no, I know. Things really have changed in my life.
But not Max. He's just
no, never
gutter.
Max. Never Max.
He really is in the gutter.
So there you go. So that's what happened 3 years
ago.
Is that it? Well, that's all I had time to do. I asked
now you know how hard it is when I do it.
Yeah, but you have plenty of time. I asked you, have you prepared something for this section? You said no. So literally 2 minutes, I found that.
Well, I went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
So did I.
Yeah, I was just letting everyone know. That's what I was doing this week.
You can see my
I
photos
went to the
on
Colosseum
Twitter.
as well.
So did I. We were there together.
And Vatican City.
We took the wrong train out of Rome and got told off by the conductor and threatened with a €200 fine.
That was very terrifying.
Right, who won the week? Much more interesting. We asked you who won the week of EastEnders this week, but it may have filtered over to the week before too, just because we thought it was only fair to do it that way. We gave you 6 options, all on our different social medias, as always, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We gave you Ben's Struggle, Gender Liquid Karen, Tiff's Long Goodbye, Pauline Shepherd's Pie, that was Ben's suggestion, The Firm 2019 and Sharon's DN Isle.
We haven't even talked about Ben, have we? I can't remember. What was Ben's struggle? Oh, the Will. No.
With Will, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But he doesn't know
Phil
about the Will,
accepting
does he?
him.
Oh, yeah.
And Rainie's Max Payne. We'd like to thank Dan and Neve for their suggestions, Ben Struggle and Gender Liquid Karen, because they were added on our Facebook poll as well. So thank you both very much for adding those. And funnily enough, they ended up being quite popular, more so than perhaps our very own ones. So, Ben, who do you think won the week? And we're going from the top, working our way down.
Pauline Shepherd's Pie.
Sadly not. Pauline Shepherd's Pie was 4th.
What?
With 10% of the vote.
Well, that's not last then.
No, because there were 6 options.
Good. Then I'm happy.
Okay, well, I'll go through them. Last place was Rainie's Max Payne with
Really?
7%. Yeah.
Last place?
The Firm and Sharon's DNA test at 9%. Pauline Shepherd's Pie at 10%. Tiff's Long Goodbye was 3rd with 12%.
Ooh.
Which I was surprised by, actually.
Yeah, they really tried to get the emotional strings on Friday, didn't they?
Didn't happen. Gender Liquid Karen was 2nd with 23%. And Ben Struggle came 1st with 39%.
That's surprising.
It surprised me because it wasn't much of a story necessarily.
And the Karen story is just stupid.
I mean, it was the anniversary of Paul and, you know, the death and so forth. So
Harry Reid's been posting about it on Instagram, by the way.
Oh, what did he say?
Just, it's been 3 years since blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Clearly you took in a lot of information.
And the guy who plays Paul also tweeted and Instagram stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Photos of them kissing, I think.
What, after they filmed or?
No.
During an episode. We had a few comments on who won the week too.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to hear them?
Yes.
Okay.
Are they about the shepherd's pie? Cottage pie?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Lily on Facebook said, I love Karen's coming out party.
No.
Really?
No, it's just stupid.
Richard, also on Facebook, said his favourite quote of the week was, if my mum can be a lesbian, then I can be a lawyer.
That was good. There was lots of good quotes, actually, from Keegan. He was good this week.
Did you say Keegan won the week then? And we should have used him?
Shepherd's Pie won the week. Or Donna Ludlow's ghost.
We also put out a couple of things on Twitter. First of all, there was a spoiler by one of the writers, Ben Wadley, that they're already doing storylines for the Christmas plots on EastEnders. We retweeted it and asked if anyone had any comments or had any thoughts to share, and there was a few on Twitter. At Tremendous_TV said, pretty confident it's going to be Mitchell focused, with Shiano being revealed and Louise potentially giving birth.
And Ben and Callum's affair, maybe.
Oh yeah, true. At L Factor 2018 said, as for what I want, I would be happy for a romantic Ballum story.
Oh yeah.
Just to balance out the miserable meltdowns. He says. At Melanie_W says, I want to see Rainie gone, Stuart to get a grip of his obsession with Rainie, and Max actually gets back together with Rainie.
What?
I want a happy Christmas for Jack and the family, and I want to see Bobby to be a proud Muslim and Chantelle to escape from Grey.
How is Max? How does she want Rainie to go, but also want Rainie and Max to get together? Or does she want Max and Rainie to get together, then both go?
I think if Max and Rainie aren't together, there's no reason for Rainie. There's no reason for Rainie to be there.
Oh.
Don't question our friend Melanie. I love her on Twitter. We also popped the news that there's going to be a new Dot Cotton in town.
Cotton?
Dotty Cotton.
Can you imagine if they recast Dot Cotton?
Yeah, after 35 years. Yeah, young Dot Cotton.
No, there's a new Dotty.
There's a new Dotty coming to town, and it's being played by Millie Zero.
She looks really cool, actually.
She really does. A lot of people said that she looks a lot older than the character she's playing, which, to be fair, she does, but I don't think she is.
She's 2 years older. So it's not like Keanu's situation where he's like playing 6 years younger.
Yeah, lots of really interesting stories being banded about her wanting Dot's money. This is original.
And they announced that Dot's coming back with her.
Yes.
Which is a shock for us all.
Which is really interesting.
Because we thought June was silently left-ish.
Well, yes, that's right. And she was kind of like lessening her roles. In fact, you and I were talking about her death in 2020. So
February 19th.
Yeah, to coincide with something, but I can't think what. And again, we asked for people to give a few comments about it. At Dame Mariah said, will she be known as Dotty or Kirsty? Now, that was an interesting one, because that was another one from Mark on the old digging up the history.
The archivist Mark James,
the archive guy, because he mentions that Kirsty was her birth name, but Dotty is the kind of like nickname they've given her.
Called her, yeah.
So it's all going to be covered. So that's interesting that they've said that. I wonder...
Well, I think wasn't the only one who called her Dotty was Dot. It was like her nickname for her, I'm sure. Well,
it was used because it was a way to manipulate Dot, wasn't it? Because that's when Nasty Nick was using Dotty to play up against Dot to get probably her money or something along those lines.
Dot's got money again.
Well, she's got a lot of money. She's got leg money.
Dr. Legs, yeah. So maybe Dotty's going to be after that to pay her university bills.
That sweet, sweet pound. So there we go. So there's a few comments also on our Facebook page, but I'm looking at the time and it's getting a bit late, so I think we'll stop there.
Okay. Before we sing.
I feel like a teacher at the end of assembly. Yes, it's now playtime and I can see you're getting restless, so I think we'll stop for the day.
I mean, luckily outside our cabin there's a silent disco happening at the moment with 3,000 guests all have headphones on. We're here just talking about EastEnders. So maybe we should stop.
I mean, if you guys want to get in touch with us, you always can. I've mentioned it a few times during the show. You can find us on Twitter at EastEnders Week, Instagram at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or our Facebook group. The Facebook group is set to private at the moment, but it will be opened to everyone again very soon.
Yeah, you have to wait 28 days after.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be back to normal next week.
This is normal-ish.
This is the new normal.
No, I'm not doing this again. But we'll be back with microphones next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Unless they've broken since we've been away.
The cat's probably eating the microphone foam around it. And I hope you guys all have a good week. Let us know what you disliked about the show throughout the week, and we look forward to speaking to you all again soon.
And remember, Max Branning is trash.